It's
What?
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
What's going on with Bird's Real? Our Bird's Real or whatever.
It's popping off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
what it was. Our bird is Bird Real?
Is Bird real? Yeah.
Was that the first?
Great. I keep reading this, like, great fucking title on the post-miss clarity there.
Yeah.
Love that.
What?
Post-miss clarity.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the original title for The Bird's Not Real?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I.
It's good.
It's just
It's
what I
good.
came up with. Is Bird real?
Is Bird real?
Because that's just how I like Google things. I think I've shown you guys before.
Is Bird real?
I use way too many words when I Google things, but as a
Same.
joke. Normally, I just, like, if I'm, for example, looking for something in a video game, I'll be like, video game, place, collectibles, or whatever. And, but as a joke, when he wants me to look, I'm like, guy from Jack and Daxter that looks like a monkey parrot thing.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, though. He was the monkey parrot for the Oracle. Which is to say, not the oracles from Jack and Daxter, but the Oracle from Jak 2, who sends you out on all those little
Do you
missions.
have a cough drop?
No.
Do you have a mint?
No.
No.
I ruined them all while I had COVID. You like a goddamn cat.
Mine are the cough drops I currently have are from 2020.
You're probably the kind of guy who gets lemon cough drops, aren't
Dude,
you?
2022, just like the year those...
I like to get the Ricolas.
Just like
but
the
I
year those
didn't get
5
those
divers
anymore.
got stuck into the pipeline and only one survived.
I also watched that Nexpo video.
Yeah. I mean, I knew about that event before then, but man, I wish I could be half as good as Nexpo.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I was workshopping a video today.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I've talked about it before, but just thinking about scenes from the Lord of the Rings trilogy that I think about very often.
Yeah.
And it's turning into... It's evolving from just like a clip show to a full-on video essay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Let's-
going to start...
Let's make another video first.
Yeah.
Hold on a second on the Lord of the Rings video essay. We can do that.
We're getting room noise.
Oh, is it already on?
It's been rolling for quite a while,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
This is good tape.
For Lord of the Rings people, there were like, I forget who all was in it, but it was Sam and Frodo and like 2 other people were doing a 4-person Baldur's Gate run. And there was a thing that you're supposed
like
to throw
the
in.
actors?
Yeah.
So
And there
like
was a
Elijah
thing-
Wood and
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, and I forget the other ones. But,
Sean Astin.
like, they reached a point where they were at a volcano and they were supposed to throw like a cursed thing in a volcano. And they just kind of like reenacted the scene where they showed all these, it was a short, and then I actually found the whole video, but like it shows all these evil things that Frodo started doing.
Baldur's Gate?
Mm-hmm.
What? Where's there a volcano?
Maybe they just kind of treated it like that.
Oh.
I'll get there. There was definitely lava. It might have been the Grim Forge.
Oh, okay.
But like they were like, dude, you just got thrown in the lava. It's been messing with you, and they showed him like kick a squirrel and kill a dog or something.
Oh no!
And
scratch.
And I'm like, and he's like, no, Sam, it's made me more powerful. And Sam's just like, okay, and then he shoved him into the lava.
Oh. That's funny.
People make better content than we do, huh? Isn't that great?
I don't know, man. We got 100 views
Wow.
in one day.
Oh my! Here we are.
Do you want to start now?
Here we are.
And feel free to start this video anytime within the last 4.5 minutes.
Right.
Whatever feels right to you, Chris.
I always like to start the videos with welcome everybody to In the Buff. Today we've got your host, Chris. We also got Cody, John, and Scott here today. We're going to be talking about some things and doing stuff. We got 3 people in hoodies, 1 person without.
That's not a hoodie. It's a jacket, you fucking moron.
Does it have a
God dang
hood?
It does have a hood.
But it's a jacket. We've gone through this before.
The issue is that we almost didn't have 4 people. I was actually very late to recording the
Did you
podcast
die?
today. I didn't die.
Okay.
Did somebody die?
Nobody died. I owe you all an apology for being late.
I do not accept it.
Here, you don't have to.
I'll hear him out.
Okay.
But here's my excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a buddy who runs a mostly weekly poker game, and I was at poker tonight.
Oh.
And, a rare event for me, I was on a bit of a hot streak.
Ah, hell yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I got there at 7:30. I'm like, to get here at 10, I need to be done at 9:45. I need to walk out the door at 9:45. But, like I said, I was on a bit of a hot streak. I was really far up. And then, 9:30 rolls around and maybe I'm a little further down. So I'm like, I just need to get back up again. And by like 9:45, I'm still not quite there. So I'm like, okay, I just need to hang out for one more round around the table, till I'm big blind again or whatever. And, boy, was that the right call to make.
Oh?
Because I ended up winning $100.
Oh
by
my
the end of the
goodness.
night.
Nice, dude.
It must have been a hell of a round.
Yes. I was on a just tearing people apart.
Normally you don't get physical with poker.
Have you ever gotten anybody that's like...
Although I suppose if you are the best at being physical at poker, you always win.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Have you ever had anybody that's like, well, not paying rent this month?
God, like,
I did have a guy ask if I would call him for his mortgage that month.
that's one of my favorite episodes of The Sopranos is a poker game they have, and there's like a guy who is a bit of a friend of Tony's, the main character, Tony Soprano, and he's like, hey, I want to be in this poker game, I want to get in there, and he's just like, just one more round, guys, come on, I want to get back. And he's one of those guys where he's constantly losing, and it's just a really harrowing episode. Tony has to be like, dude, I'm the fucking mob boss. I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of you. You owe me this much money because I floated you like $20,000, like that kind of thing.
Hot noodle.
And it's just really, I love that episode. It's really rough. Regardless,
yeah. Whose corner is it this week?
It was
I think it's yours.
Oh, well, I wish.
Is this
You
your
know
plan?
I'll cover for you a little bit, but let's just keep vamping.
That's great. That's great, John.
Soprano.
Here's $20.
Wow. Oh my God, how many 20s did you have in there? Oh Jesus.
That's a lot.
Oh no, those were a bunch of ones. Where were you?
Well, he didn't get to finish the story. At 9:45, he got big. And at 10 o'clock, he got bigger. That's why he was 45 minutes late instead of 10.
Oh no, I think he's not the type to go to a strip club. He's the type that works at a strip club.
Oh, you
This
think?
guy.
I
mean-
don't know if that's... We've
are
known
not-
each other for a long time, Scott. And where did you get this opinion?
Wait a second,
You
you're
are
a
the
guy?
hottest of us.
I
We've
don't
been
know
through
if
this.
that's true either.
Wait, were
Right,
you the
right.
bouncer that gave me their number? That's
Was
a shout out to fucking episode 3.
yeah, something like that.
You're gay.
Throwback.
God.
What are we doing? What's the corner?
That's wild. I don't have anything specific for the corner. I was really hoping that I would just share a little bit about myself, and you guys would be able to go with it, you know?
Right.
Kind of like how Chris thought birds are real, and we all just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah.
I saw how well that went.
We went there.
So-
we got to the end.
And you know what? Still got demonetized.
Still got demonetized.
What did we do?
I said the words.
Right.
Just guess.
But normally those videos are given like a warning thing underneath them about.
I don't know.
I'll bleep
Cool.
that.
One thing that I did think was very funny when I was editing that episode is you mentioned how we were bringing up a certain group of uncool individuals from the 20th century as a reason why we might be getting demonetized. And then, unprompted, 2 other times in that episode, we also brought up those people.
It's impossible to avoid it. It's like the Roman Empire.
You think about them
No.
how many times a week?
No, I don't. Other side of the Pacific, maybe. Think about them a lot.
We should have bombed Berlin.
Wow.
It's a beautiful city.
It wouldn't have been.
Hiroshima wasn't?
So, guys, I got to tell you, I've had a weekend so far, and I am running on fumes.
Yeah.
I slept so fucking much today.
It's only Saturday.
I know.
Dude.
So I took vacation on Friday
Right.
because my niece and nephews did our annual building Lego thing. I get a Lego set that's like 1,000 to 1,500 pieces.
I thought you were going to say dollars.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say dollars.
Nope. I ain't that guy.
Wait, are they
Jeez.
drinking age now? You should have gotten them the Jameson bottle.
Huh?
There's a Lego Jameson bottle.
Does it come with Jameson in it?
No.
Then what the fuck are you
I
talking about?
know.
Why does the drinking age matter at that point?
Because
Also, it would be really easy to
It's
build.
just a bottle. There's no alcohol involved if it's just a bottle.
true.
Here,
like,
build this rectangle.
Also, I mean, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna out them or anything. I don't know if they, drink underage, but I don't feel like I should share that on the podcast if they do.
I mean, I didn't start collecting Marlboro things until I started smoking.
I've really thought about starting smoking.
Yeah.
What in the fuck is happening?
Well,
Well-
I on the drive-in, I noticed they opened a second smoke and vape shop in town.
In our
there's
small
a second
town.
one?
Yeah,
in
over by the dentist office at the east end of town.
That's a perfect
You know-
place for it. You get your teeth cleaned and then you just go
Hold on.
fucking
Wait,
get some
where's the
fucking gas.
first one?
Over there.
Right here by
near the
Grocery Land.
Yeah, that's by the
Yeah.
grocery store.
Oh, wait. Then I don't know what the second one you're talking about is. I thought the
The
dentist
second
office
one?
was next to the grocery.
Oh, there is a dentist office
Yeah.
by the
Oh,
grocery
yeah.
store.
Wow,
Hold
we
on.
have two dentist offices.
Okay, hold on.
We're fucking moving up in the world, baby.
Our village has as many people as we have subscribers, and we have 2 dentists and 2 vape shops.
And now two Dollar Generals and a Dollar Tree coming.
Here's the thing.
No,
That,
Dollar Tree Market.
Family.
Oh,
That-
Yeah, yeah.
Or
that
something like
second
that.
Dollar
Yeah.
General went up suspiciously fast.
so fast.
Dude.
What were they hiding?
I'm pretty sure they
Bodies.
sold their oldest child to the devil.
that. No, they just
Put that
got a
on
bunch
your
of Amish
conspiracy
people.
I'm
theory.
the devil, son.
Oh, dude, what do you think ever happened to that guy?
He hasn't commented.
Hesitate.
I guess I don't know.
So, anyways, I every year for Christmas I will.
Oh,
get
yeah, this.
one Lego. I'll get one Lego set for my niece and
I
nephews to
forgot
build
we
on
were
a
listening to a
sleepover.
story.
It was cool when they were like 10 and 11. When they were like a younger age, and I'm like, it felt more like understandable. But then like last year I wasn't gonna do it, and it was like fucking gun to the head. Like, you better get us a fucking Lego set to
I
play.
would
said
have built
that
the
to you?
Millennium
They
Falcon.
were upset that I wasn't going to. They were like, we want to have another sleepover. And I'm like, you are 18, 17, and 15.
You know,
This is getting a little weird now.
you know what I can't understand about these stories you tell is you're just not that likable.
I know, right?
I don't understand these people loving you so much, John.
You're
Me
also 30
Yeah.
and an old?
And an old.
Well,
and
hold on.
an old.
Wait, hold on. Did they have a sleepover this time?
Yes.
Okay. Did the married one stay?
Wait, one of them's married?
Yeah.
Her husband's over in Japan right now.
See the dent
With the
in his
Marines.
head
Ugh.
from the beer can?
That was
that?
I didn't realize it was from from one of his
Yeah.
nieces or nephew.
He shared that story on the podcast.
I just barely listened to him.
Anyways, so this time we kind of planned things out, and I had an event that I was going to on Friday, so I took vacation,
All right.
and they stayed the night Thursday night. And they texted me and told me that they were going to be here around like 4:30, which was around the time that I got off work. So I just made sure. They do this thing where the nephews want to break into my house, break in.
Mhm.
So like there was one time that they caught on.
So not like
they-
Cody.
There was one time that they recognized that, kind of like Cody, that they recognized that a window was unlocked,
Mm-hmm.
and they opened it and climbed in. I think I've told you guys this before, but that became part of
Were you taking a shit while this happened?
the second time. Yes.
Yeah.
The second time, so the first time they did this, and they went into my my bedroom, and I'm sitting in my living room playing a game, whatever, I don't remember what, and I keep hearing noises back
Just
there.
imagine you looking down the hallway.
My niece knocks on the door and I open it. She's like, "Oh, they drove separately." And I'm like, "So I should be worried about the noises that are coming from my bedroom?" And I just hear this, and she's like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay," and I just set a bat down, and then I'm like, but eventually they got their little scare, and like it became a fun game. So then the year after, I purposely left the fence gate open to be inviting to my backyard. I also left every other doorway that they could walk through unlocked up to that window. And I was sitting in that room taking a shit while I hear them like starting to open that window. I call one of them and I hear their phone start ringing. And I was like, fuck, turn it off. And I just, instead of hearing it stop, I just hear it become distant. Through their phone. I'm like, yeah, okay. And like when the window opens and one gets like halfway in, I'm like, don't hurt yourself. Well, I'm just sitting there on the toilet. He's like, are you shitting? And I'm like, yes. Yeah. And I just let them continue to struggle. And then
As you continued to struggle.
And then like I wiped my ass and I got up and I went to the living room.
I like all the details too.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
This year,
I'm glad you clarified that you wiped
wiped
your
my
ass.
ass. I didn't say I washed my hands.
Disgusting.
That's important for later.
Stop touching me.
This year they were like, "Hey, leave something unlocked. Okay, don't tell us what it is, but leave something unlocked." I'm like, just so you guys know, there are 3 cameras pointed at my house at all times of the day because this house used to be the party house. Okay, like cops have been called on me before. So you guys
They're
know
really quick on the trigger finger. The cops are.
I'm like, so you guys know, you might get arrested, But I texted them and I told them, I'm like, I left one form of entry unlocked for you guys. Good luck, bandits. And I texted my niece and I said, hey, please don't let them break anything. The front door's unlocked. What I didn't tell her was that I left everything unlocked. Because I'm like, oh, they're going to open it up. They're going to be like, fuck yeah, we got it on the first try. He's a fucking idiot. And then when I get in, I'm just going to lock everything as I go around. And they're going to be like, oh.
That sounds pretty lame.
Yeah, it was all right.
What did you buy them?
I got the Razor Crest. I got the Mando's first ship.
Did you say that before?
No.
Okay.
He didn't.
Sometimes when people talk to me, I don't really listen.
I understand.
And then I ask questions, and I worry that they've already told me the answers.
I just have bad retention.
So with this, what I'm getting at is, have you guys ever pranked anybody?
I pranked you. I pranked you live on stream, caught in 4K.
I almost punched you.
Yeah.
Off camera.
Unfortunately, it was off camera. I did hear him go, "Oh my god," or something like that.
How great would it have been if it was just like a and just you hear like a ah! It's like just a punch to the chest and a gasp for air.
I've pranked you a second time where I put Cheese Whiz in your shoes.
I absolutely forgot about that.
I forgot.
That was a bad one to do. Not cool.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
I try not to do pranks because
that's boring, Chris.
I feel weird. The one time I did.
What do you mean? You feel? What do you mean?
I feel bad. I always feel bad. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I did, however, in high school. I remember I put a friend of mine's phone into somebody else's lunchbox. Because I thought it'd be funny, and then be like, "Where's my phone?" And then I totally forgot. Oh no, where's my phone? And I totally forgot. And then Drama Club was ended, and he didn't have his phone, and they did, and
he accused them of stealing their phone.
Hell yeah, dude.
No, I get a message, and I'm like, oh shit, and I helped sort it all out. But
what a prank!
Fantastic.
I feel bad about it.
You did this thing, and there were no serious repercussions or reactions to it.
I stay up late at night thinking about it.
See, I stayed up late at night, planning out this whole thing that I had for the prank that I was going to play on my niece and nephews, knowing full well that they were going to be there before me. I recently gave you your light bulb back for Christmas, right?
That's right.
That's because I got new lights.
I'm using it.
That's great. So these were the only 2 lights that were on in my house when they were here.
Whoa.
And I have the capability of seeing which lights are on in my living room.
For all the audio listeners, he just turned off some of the lights in this room with his cell phone because they're smart bulbs.
It's a reveal that isn't really good for an audio medium.
That's fine. I care more about you guys.
Right.
Sorry, listeners. Which is also my friends.
Hell yeah.
Hey, when we get that Patreon started, though, we could have like a camera set up with all the money we get.
And so on the drive home, every time I would reach a stop sign, I would fuck with the lights a little bit. And I would turn certain lights off and turn them on and just turn them all on or turn them all off, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my niece texted me and she was like, hey, when are you going to be back? And I'm like, oh, I'm like 15 minutes away. I just got the beat ups. And I had this whole thing planned out in my head. I'm going to go in. They're going to be like, dude, there's something going on with your house. And I was going to be like, what do you mean? The lights are just going off and on. You see that too? I'm not the only one. This shit has been doing it since the end of October. Was the whole plan that I had. And just going with it. Man, I get in. And it starts, they question it. They're like, is your house okay? And I look into the kitchen because I have to try to just make my face stoic. And I'm like, yeah, why? The whole thing that I had planned, I just stuttered. And
yeah.
And they're like, your lights keep flickering. I'm like,
yeah.
That's crazy, dude. And I walked away.
Not to toot my own horn. I feel like I'm not a pranker. I feel like I could nail that specific aspect. I'm just really good at
stone facing.
For a lot of people I am. I suck at it with you specifically.
You looking at me, it just sets you off.
I mean,
something funny about my face, I guess.
Yeah, but I think Carson or Blaine, I can't figure out which one, has the same effect.
Yeah.
Because the way they asked the question, it just there was a part of me that was like, yes, they're falling right into my trap. But the other side was like, this is fucking funny. And I couldn't keep going with it. And I'm like, that's crazy, dude. And I walked into the kitchen and I turned all the lights off. They're like, it just happened again. And I just put my phone down, but I slammed it down. And they're like, are you doing this? And I'm like, no, it wasn't me.
It's interesting to me that it works over Wi-Fi or even roaming data.
I was wondering if it would or not for sure. I had no idea. So this was kind of my test.
Yeah.
Because it showed me which ones were on. I'm like, well, let's just fuck with this a little bit, we'll see what happens. Eventually when I got home, every light wasn't accessible because they had unplugged them all.
Oh.
That was their solution to it.
They were actually, so that tells me they were actually scared.
Yeah. They turned them all off, they plugged in their Xbox, and they started playing Madden.
See, that doesn't seem like the right play to me, because if they unhook all of the lights, that must mean whatever is controlling the lights has to move on to something else.
Yeah, the ghost is going to get bored because it can't play with the lights anymore. I'm not a prankster, but I've been talking to you guys. I don't know if you've been around when I was talking about this. When I was a kid, I used to do this thing. It's pretty much a prank, where I would aggressively gaslight people into thinking that something that was kind of plausible was very real.
I love this so much.
And the example I keep coming back, I did it for a lot of shit, but the one I keep remembering is, the phrase is actually taking it for granted, because when a coal miner would get a piece of rock they weren't sure was actually coal or not, they would look at it and be like, well, it could be coal, but they look at it and actually it's quite a lot more of a hassle and it costs more money for them to take it to the surveyor to see that it's actually coal, so they would take it for granted and throw it in the granite bucket.
But that's just complete bullshit.
It's not true at all. But who knows what untold destruction I've wrought by permeating these totally fake stories.
The age of the internet really is a blessing and a curse. Yeah. Because prior to unlimited access to all information ever, people just had to accept things that they were told. Mm-hmm. If you told that to somebody, there's no way for them to check 30 years ago.
Also, I tried my best when I was a kid to make it be stuff like, why wouldn't that be true? That sounds plausible.
You got that one guy that you convinced way back when. He's sitting in the library reading a book and he's like, son of a bitch.
Take it for granted. This foot got it wrong.
And then that person just goes on believing it for the rest of their life.
I would love that so much. You meet that person later on. You're like, oh yeah, you were the granite guy. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
I mean,
Just yell at his face.
I mean, I've had a couple of those revelations throughout my life. I don't know if I've talked about them on the podcast, but one of them was I was looking at some woodworking videos on YouTube because I wanted to get into woodworking. Spoiler alert,
We've all been
didn't. And there's just this masculine urge.
Yeah.
Instead, you started working with rocks.
Nope. Not
You
doing
started
it.
climbing them.
I climbed them. I didn't.
Well, the only thing has
I
been
like working with
climbing.
them.
Works at
Ayo.
the strip club.
High five.
Poles. Climbs poles.
He's not gonna give me a high five.
And that's not the only pole he climbs.
Heyo.
He's running for president.
I might have a good chance this cycle.
Yeah.
I was watching woodworking videos,
Right.
and I found this one video where it's like the pros and cons of installing your blade guard on your table saw. And I click on it, and I'm like, blade guard? What the hell is a blade guard? Because my grandpa was a woodworker. My dad's done woodworking. I've been in, workshops since I was a kid. I never knew what a blade guard was.
Isn't it? Surely it's the thing that goes over top of the saw, right?
Yes, it is. And I watched the video, and I realized, every workshop that I've been in has not had its blade guard installed. And so I just didn't know that this thing existed, despite being in this tangentially related to this sphere of information. I talked to my dad about that, and I'm like, hey, do you know about blade guards? And I had to explain it to him. He's like, oh, that's just pussy shit.
Have you seen those
Real
videos
man
of like
lose fingers.
these are old videos at this point, but it's like some high-tech laser thing that detects when flesh gets near the saw.
Yeah, saw
Yeah.
stops.
It's pretty cool.
Dude,
It's not,
I don't have the balls for that.
I don't think it's lasers. I think it
I don't know.
is, there's an electrical current moving through the
All I know is
metallic-
the video is a guy moving a hot dog closer and closer, and it just goes, and then the saw
Yep, it
moves
just
away,
sucks
and
it
there's
up.
nary a nick on the hot dog.
Yeah.
I
don't
would
have the
not
balls.
trust that.
I would try my best to get it to nick. I would,
Oh my god!
God, get that hot dog.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your hand. Just fucking full.
Well, that
full
too.
send.
I just want to hurt myself.
The one memory I have about a wood shop was going to one with your dad when my physics team was building the trebuchet,
Mhm.
I missed out on all this
and God bless your dad. He's great. But he was like, John, you doing all the cutting. And he stopped me. He's like, and if you cut your hand, you're the one telling your parents.
shit.
And I was just like, I looked at him and I'm like,
yes, sir.
yes, sir. Dean Kane, sir. You got it.
Team K.
And like, I'm like lining up because I took him seriously. And he was like, give me that shit. You're going to hurt yourself. And then he just did all the cutting himself. And I'm like, thank God.
I remember there was a time, I don't know how long, maybe a couple of years, where my dad would just incessantly bully you.
The last time I remember happening was New Year's.
Yes,
And
that's
he told-
exactly what I was
he told
thinking about.
Chris he was a bigger man than me. I'm like, bro, I looked up to you.
I wish I'd have been there. You guys didn't invite me. But but you guys, I wasn't there. And the way you've told that story over and over is, it's like, you got kind of weirdly personal, dude. It was like,
It really did. I didn't know what I did. to
He was
deserve
like deep cuts. He's like, you're never gonna amount to anything.
it. And like, it wasn't all at
you're
once.
barely even a man.
It wasn't all at once. It was periodically throughout the night. I wasn't even allowed to play cards with you guys. I'm like,
I don't know what his deal was.
Was it a bit? I don't know.
I just chalked it up to him being drunk. I don't know.
That's
He was
awesome.
nice to me.
He was so nice to you. I didn't get it.
You know what it is? He thinks I'm retarded,
Oh,
and he's like,
oh,
I can't be mean.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
What if like he went into the night? He's like, last day of the year.
Did you guys
I'm
know
gonna-
Chris wasn't retarded?
No, he goes and he's like, last day of the year. I'm going to break John. Let's see how much this kid can handle. And I'm like, I thought you guys liked me.
You say kid, you were probably 25, 26 at the time.
Probably. I really don't remember my age.
You were very much an adult.
I want to say I was still going to Sinclair. I think I would have been like 23, 24. I was definitely old enough to drink. I know that much. But, anytime that I am involved with anything with our parents, I just feel like I'm a kid again.
Right.
Honestly, I've never had a relationship with any of your parents other than Chris's mom, of course. But
Dude, hey, pass that shit around, dog.
She's a nice lady.
He dabbed me up, so everybody knows.
Audio listeners.
I did not. He did it himself.
Prove it.
Anyway, I'm just not good at... I've never known any of your parents, and I'm not good at talking to people I don't know. Isn't that weird?
Speaking about parents, I guess it's just to talk about our parents episode. I recently found a channel on YouTube. I think they mostly just do shorts, but they do these shorts where they parody, I'm assuming, their own mother. And they just have this series called Sig Mom.
Oh, no.
Like a mom who smokes cigarettes.
Oh, I thought
Yes.
like Sigma Mom.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was also going to Sigma Mom.
It's a cigarette mom. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it's kind of that, like, lower middle class kind of family. The mom's always got a cigarette in her mouth, and she's just kind of really abrasive to everybody in her family, but also very loving. And I don't know why, but it reminded me of your mom.
Because she smokes cigarettes?
Because she's lower middle class.
Oh, fuck no. I'm lower middle class. I'm like upper low class. You're upper middle class for sure.
Upper middle, I don't know.
I would say so. His mom's a real estate agent. Did you see their house?
She ain't sold a house in a while.
Well, I'm talking about way back when. Way back when.
It just, I'll send you some links.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it just really reminded me of Minnie.
Dude. So talking about parents, the next part that I was going to go to also has a little bit of story to it. But I was going to ask you guys the biggest grudges you guys have ever kept.
Grudges.
Interesting.
Because I know there was a small time where a small time in our lives now. We talk about it all the time.
I want to just bury the hatchet.
I'm never letting this
don't
be.
Yeah,
need to
bury the hatchet in his fucking dome.
There's a lot of space here, buddy. Big target.
I didn't even hold that grudge for very long. That was maybe like a month
Major
and a
part
half.
of my life.
It was long enough that the rest of us were like, oh shit, are they not friends anymore?
Are they still doing that?
This story that I'm gonna share is really small, but it kind of just like opened my eyes to like the kind of grudges that parents hold.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Well, before you do that, let's just... When Halo Reach came out, John and I had a competition and a race to see who could get all of the achievements the fastest.
Says he's gonna bury it, tells the whole world.
Well,
Again.
you brought it up, so I might as well let the audio listeners know.
Who won?
John won, and I didn't take it very well.
And I didn't take that he didn't take it very well, very well.
I also remember there being some stink about the Hayabusa armor.
Was it the recon armor?
I think it was the recon armor
I don't
because
remember.
you got all of the Vidmaster achievements and I did not.
Still?
Never.
Get fucked, loser. God dare you.
Do you want to load up Halo 3 ODST
Yes.
for Xbox 360 again?
I'd have to renew my subscription, but yes.
Like-
1000% yes.
You can't do LAN even without the subscription?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's in the Master Chief collection. Just buy it on
It's
your
Mr.
PC.
Chef.
I already have it on my Perfect, there we go.
Awesome.
Chef.
Great. Let's do it.
Right now.
Goodbye,
Anyway.
So, last year, my dad has 2 like 50-pound weights that he puts in his truck, but he's gotten too old so that like he can't really be the one to do it anymore. He'll usually recruit me or my nephews or somebody.
What are the weights for? Just for weight?
It's just like traction and stuff for him to be able to maintain control in the winter. And last year, when we went over for breakfast, he asked if we could put it in the back of his truck, and we said sure. And after breakfast, like I grabbed my nephew and we walked out there and just went and grabbed him, walked around the garage, threw him in. And while we were doing that, like he was hurrying to go out there and try to open up the sliding garage door so we wouldn't have to walk as far. Didn't think anything of it. He was just like, oh, well, if you guys would have waited a second, like you wouldn't have had to walk as far. Dog, it's like 10 steps. Who cares? He cared. He cared so much that was implanted in his head for the next 365 days because he texted us last week asking if anybody can help him with it again. And when I get to my parents' house, garage door's already slid open, and he's standing there, arms crossed, waiting by the weights. And he's like, I just look at him, and I look at the doors, and I'm like, is this because of last year? He's like, yes. Just so dominant about it. Just, yeah. I'm like, thanks. And I walked inside.
Great.
And he's like, well, are you going to pick him up? And I'm like, after I eat, yeah.
I'm gonna shovel my face full of food.
So now there's a test here. If next year he doesn't open the doors immediately, but as soon as breakfast is done, he runs out there and opens the doors. This is like the level of like pettiness where like there's really nothing to it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just makes me wonder what kind of grudges have we held that we just don't even realize we hold.
John, what you do is you grab the weight and you go around.
Yeah, look him in the eye
way and look at him while you're
Oh
going.
no, that's
what you
cruel.
do.
That's cruel.
Here's a deep cut for a grudge that I held for a long time. I don't think I ever reconciled with the individual, but back in high school,
It's about me.
we would play Xbox Online all the time, and it was mainly me and your friend group from high school.
John.
John, yes.
It was like all like the sports guys too.
Yep. And not a whole lot of people in my grade, but I would hang out with all of your grade. And there was this one guy, we'll call him AJ, because that was his name.
Oh, I loved AJ. Oh, I forgot this. Hold on, this is great. Continue.
And I was very straight edge in high school, which is to say lame. I wasn't even straight edge. I was just lame. But I also didn't like
The most
swearing.
hardcore thing you did was play upward basketball back then.
Yeah, for the church.
I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, I don't let that get out very often anymore.
Oh, sorry.
What are you gonna do? Never mind. I was gonna say something, but it's a lot more serious than I thought it was gonna be.
We're gonna burn the church.
So AJ accused me of swearing in the Xbox Live lobby, and I'm like, no, I didn't, AJ. And I got like as particularly offended at him for accusing me of this, of something I didn't do, and especially something I would never want to do at the time.
Fuck that asshole.
And so I muted him so that I couldn't hear him and he couldn't hear me. I don't think they can hear you, but I don't think I ever unmuted him, and I don't think I ever forgave him for this accusation.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I don't know what happened to him.
Crack whore.
Last time I saw him was like 3 years ago, and he was a manager at the B-Dubs in Inglewood.
That's pretty nice.
And I think he moved on to a different job, or maybe he got promoted again. But man, he always made sure I had the best fucking wings on Thursdays.
That's
He would see my order. There was no communication about this or anything. He just saw me come in and pick it up one night, and like we talked for a couple minutes, caught up and everything, and then like he paid attention to my orders. And like every time after that, just like they were sauced the fuck up, dude.
It's great to have friends in food service.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The girl that he married still works there, and
he's married?
And a kid.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you, AJ.
He still talks about you cussing all the time, but
He still hasn't dropped it. He's like weirdly, he like brought it up unprompted to me. I don't even know that guy.
he said, "Hey, how are you? Do you remember that time that Bowen cussed in the lobby in Call of Duty?"
You just dropped his. Oh, he uses it in the comments.
That's funny that you knew it was Call of Duty. Yeah, it was absolutely Call of Duty.
What about you, Chris? You got a grudge?
I hate my aunt.
Okay. All right.
So it's Christmas.
No, it's not. It's the New Year.
Several years ago.
We're past all of this, guys.
When my uncle died, right?
Okay.
In Minecraft.
Damn.
Yeah.
Lost the whole server?
Yeah,
Survival mode?
Yeah, it was hardcore, man.
Ooh,
And
this is not funny.
I know.
what had happened, right, is that she's a bit of an awful person, and
Okay.
Just a bit.
Just, yeah.
And so she was married for a time to my uncle.
That's usually how she becomes.
Which
your
one
aunt.
were you
Yes.
related to?
My uncle.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
And Uncle passed away
Yeah.
in Minecraft.
So
Hardcore mode.
we're having Christmas. It's a delicate time, right?
Sure.
Grandma's about to leave. That was my grandma's baby boy, right? My uncle. So my aunt was like, with how much you're hurting right now, you're not hurting as much as me for who I lost. I'm about to choke a bitch. But I don't have to, because then Mom gets in her face, and then it goes outside.
This is your mother's brother?
Dude,
Yes.
Okay.
Your mom's hot when she gets to see me.
She also gets violent.
Like
Yeah,
physically
she-
warm?
And she will,
She'll punch a bitch.
yeah. So I get in between them, like, it's not a good time to be fighting, guys.
How dare you defend your aunt-in-law?
No, I'm defending Mom. She can't go to jail.
Again.
Not after last time.
Anyway, I get hit a bunch.
Maybe it's the character development she needs.
The cops show up and separate everybody. And I see my aunt every now and again at the bus stop, at the bus station downtown.
Flip her off.
I refuse to talk to her.
Wait, she's still your aunt?
Well, it's just I'm not using names for this.
No, drop the
long-
whole thing.
No,
Give me your soch.
no.
3784? Or whatever you said
Oh
earlier.
man, somebody listening is gonna be like,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
no, they're gonna be like, why do you fucking know mine? That's great. What a great story.
I mean, it's 3 numbers, 2 numbers, 4 numbers. It's super easy to just drop.
The first 5 numbers are basically related to where you were
Yeah,
born.
it's pretty much an area code. Anyway, what a great story.
Yeah.
I'll say, let's be confrontational. They should have dropped it. Let that bitch be the bitch. Don't make a scene. And obviously, everybody was hurting in that scenario. It's on her to be like, oh no, I'm actually hurting the worst. Go fuck yourself, bitch. But that's it. Why make a scene?
Because sometimes bad people need to know that they're bad.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So what about you? Have you ever held a grudge?
I mean, I fucking get so mad at my sister all the time. And it's just a bunch of little things. Like, okay.
Last week, the Browns game?
No, man. I mean, fucking, I hate being in the house when a sports ball is happening. But, when you want to make a sandwich, right? Open the bread bag. Get a couple pieces of bread. What do you do with the bread bag, guys?
You
It
wrap it back up.
What do you do?
So what I do
You better tread carefully.
is I take the loaf of bread, I spin it around, and I tuck the end underneath.
Yeah.
I will do that. I will save the tie and redo the tie.
Sure.
I'm not that extra.
Yeah. That's like lawful good shit,
I will cinch it though. I will sometimes tie it.
Oh, like in an
Okay.
actual knot?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you would with a garbage
Or
bag?
just like a quick roll over pull?
Uh,
Like something that can be
I
easily
spin
undone?
it.
Something
Yeah,
that can be
it
easily
can be
undone.
easily
Okay.
undone.
Not like the fucking Beatles
I
bags where
don't
it's like,
like-
I just gotta rip this fucker apart.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's a little extra.
That is.
But
When I lived at my parents' house, my mom always made me tie it back up.
right.
When I lived here, I tied it up the first time and I stopped. I'm like, I don't have to fucking do this anymore.
Something I really
So I
like
leave the
about that
whole thing open.
is-
Oh my
No,
god.
I'm just kidding. I
What
know what Cody does.
Hang on. What I really like about that is you're like, when I lived here being your house, John.
Yeah.
So the correct way, in
am I-
my opinion, it is sufficient. You spin the fucking bag, you fold it under the fucking bag. Job done. And I always throw out the tie because I fucking know it's gonna end up in the fucking drain if I don't throw it away.
Why in the drain?
Because it's just gonna end up there, and I'm gonna have to fish it out with a fucking the pipe snake.
Okay.
I almost said tunnel snakes because Fallout 3.
Tunnel snakes rule.
She just
She doesn't
no spin, barely folds it, and I'm like, Sarah, it is like negative fucking effort to just. And no, apparently that's not good enough. And you know, you hear my volume. You're like, oh man, this guy gets real mad about shit that doesn't matter. I wish it were just that. I really do. It's just a lot of little shit that adds up. She doesn't think about the placement of stuff, the groceries. When the groceries go in the fridge, she doesn't think about it.
You know, you could. They make special Tupperware containers that are the perfect size for a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
So you just get rid of the bag entirely.
Or you could just fucking spin the bag. You could just spin the bag and fold it under.
I love everything you said for the bag. You are hand motioning, spinning the bag.
Flipping it under and then putting it down.
My guy has fucking closed a bag of bread 30 times this podcast so far. Oh man,
that's like I honestly don't even feel that strongly about it. I just thought that was funny. I that's the only grudge I can even think of is that I get annoyed at some of the things she does. I have grudges against people who don't know me. Sure.
Oh, there's like people you watch like their video or something.
Sure, like that or like
Taliesin.
Fuck yeah. And I have nothing against the man other than everything about him and what he represents.
Honestly, I've despised Taliesin ever since I've seen like shaved sides of the head and like the longer but always dyed a different color hair.
I think he looks fresh.
I hate it.
I think he looks great.
That's the hairdo I was gonna get.
It looks stupid. I will judge you.
Maybe you can pull it off.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll pull it off for you.
Put it on your head.
Nope.
But like for some reason, especially actors, I'll be like, man, this guy isn't even trying. A great example, I was actually going to tell this in the car right here. I can't remember what I was watching, but a person was acting as a blacksmith, and they were doing the thing where you could just tell what they fucking did, and they just put no effort into pretending to be a blacksmith, which is what the fucking acting role is. They just watched a video of a person blacksmithing, clearly, because they were just doing the ding, 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 ding thing that blacksmiths do. Mm-hmm. And you watch it and you're like, that's weird that they go ding, 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 ding at the end. And if you know literally the first thing about blacksmithing, you can be like, oh, I know why they do that. Because they're not using their arm muscle to hammer. They're putting the hammer up and letting gravity do it. Mm-hmm. And so it's just bouncing. Mm-hmm. And then they go back up. But the person who was the actor, who I don't know, and I don't even know why it matters to me, they were just clearly going ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
like purposely.
They were doing the effort.
And I'm just like, dude, that's not how it works. You didn't even try. You just watched a video and you're like, this is what it looks like. And that really is what those little things, they add up. And I think that's what separates someone doing a passable job from someone doing a great job.
Dude, the actors that I love to hear about are like, I can't think of his name, but it was the voice actor for Darth Maul in the Clone Wars or whatever it was.
He played Starkiller too.
He did. And like I hear interviews of him for going into these roles, and one of them was like he was in the room during the scene that Anakin has where he has this dream with his mom, and he was like, yeah, I'm married now, like I really would have loved for you to meet her. And like this whole scene gets shot. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, I know
Wait,
what you're talking about.
Anakin's talking to Darth Maul?
No. He's just in the room. He's talking to his mom about meeting Padme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And like the whole scene's done, and everybody's about to wrap up.
I've seen this.
And he's
TikTok.
like, actually, Shmi already met Padme.
Yeah.
In episode
so that
1.
doesn't make sense. And like the director was like, fuck.
Probably Dave fucking Filoni.
Probably.
It was Dave Filoni.
And then there was another one where like where he nerded out because he knows Star Wars so well, and he was talking about being Starkiller, like meditating angrily, and like when he was like doing the role, trying to get the spot, he always did the meditation the same way, but he was like balled up fist, like frustration and all this stuff, and then like he'd do the rest of the scene in a different way. And they asked him, they're like, "Why do you keep doing the meditation the same way?" He's like, "Oh, because he wouldn't know how to meditate. He was taught by the Sith. The Sith just do everything like forcefully."
I do like that line of thinking, but man, I did not like his performance one bit in
really?
Days Gone. Every single line.
Days Gone was a zombie game, right?
Yeah. It's a simulator.
Okay.
And
sounds good.
It was pretty fun. It was fine, but the weird thing about his performance in that was like there'd be lines that they would just clash.
Yeah.
They would just clash with each other so hard in tone where I wish I remembered specifically. You'd just be going through this camp or whatever stealthily, and he's like whispering to himself like a protagonist would. And then you'll discover something, and he'd be like, motherfucking, and it sounds so angry. And I'm like, what the shit? What is happening? Why did he do this? Like, oh, another nest. I gotta take care of this nest.
I respect Sam Witwer for being such a dedicated fan to Star Wars, while at the same time losing all that respect because he has anchored himself to this sinking ship.
Yeah.
Like, it really feels... What do I know? Are you hearing this? What is going on outside?
It has been happening ever since I got back in October.
What is this?
I think it's
is somebody
fridge.
Outside?
No, I think that's...
Shooting off bottle rockets?
I think that's my heater popping every once in a while when it starts to get too
You brought
cold.
a ghost home.
Terrible.
Poltergeist.
Terrible.
Right.
I appreciate what Sam Witwer does. It feels like he really cares about the IP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the people who does.
This is a Star Wars podcast now. When I think about Star Wars as a whole, like from the outside in, because I used to be in there, and I feel comfortable saying I am no fucking longer in there. It is not what I loved when I was a kid. It's not that anymore, which is fine. It's allowed to evolve and change. I really wish it evolved and changed to something even remotely worthwhile, but no, at least not to me, not even in the slightest. And that I can't help but feel a bit sad when I think about looking at it from the outside in, like I just said. It just doesn't, it feels so cynical and corporate now. And then I'm like, maybe I'm the one who's bringing the cynicism there. Maybe I should just turn my brain off. I don't know.
Like, I remember Star Wars is that weird thing that we can sit down in, because there's 3 different generations that loved it.
Mm-hmm.
When 4, 5, and 6 came out, you had that generation, and then it was gone for 20
First
years.
modern blockbuster.
Yeah,
You know,
and then it
much.
was gone for 20 years. And, like, everybody who didn't really know Star Wars when, like, 1, 2, and 3 came out, like, I was like, 1, 2, and 3 is fucking awesome. This is so fucking cool. And my brother's like, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but, you know. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
I'm similar. I am somewhat similar, except I was hook, line, and sinker into Star Wars when Episode 1 came out.
Hmm.
I already knew the whole thing. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe Darth Vader's Luke's dad, that kind of shit. And I remember not understanding that. And in fact, looking back, I'm not sure I was supposed to understand this. So, you know, joke's on you, whoever wrote the back of the VHS copy of Episode 1 that I read. On the back of that, they just spoil that Palpatine is the Emperor.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know he was going to be the Emperor. And I'm like, oh shit, he's the Emperor?
Well, fuck.
Like me, 6-year-old Scott, reading this, being like, I didn't know that.
Damn.
To be fair, he is played by the same actor who played the
But
Emperor.
he's always in, like, he gets crazy makeup in the first 3 movies, and he's always got the hood when you see the Emperor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
I agree. I didn't know either. But in hindsight, it's like, oh,
Ian McDermott.
no crap, he's the Emperor. He's the same actor.
Little kid John would not have pieced that together.
Yeah.
Great job. I love the irony of that. Where
That's one of the things that bothers me about how I consume movies nowadays is because we have things like IMDb and Wikipedia where you can just be like, who's that actor? And you just look it up and he's like, oh, here's the actor, here's his filmography, here's all the movies he's been in. Oh, he's also been in this. So before, no, I don't think anybody would. Much fewer people would have pieced together that Ian McDiarmid was the same actor in 5, 6, and 1, 2, and 3. But now it's just like you said, it feels cynical.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, there's no longer like that movie magic. It's just people on a stage.
That's a good way of putting it. It feels like a product. It feels like, all right, let's get everybody in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Throw it in the editing room. It doesn't feel like art anymore. But one of the funny things that I think people have been pointing this out, how Ian McDiarmid in 5 and 6 had to put on old man makeup, and then for 1, 2, and 3 had to put on young man makeup.
And then they just showed him as is.
They rolled him in out of the crypt, and he was there. He was ready.
I do appreciate that Ian McDiarmid has spanned the entire Star Wars saga.
I wish he didn't have to.
I agree. I agree. But I do appreciate that he just gave it his all through all of it.
Yeah.
My favorite part about episode 9 was when they did
Lightspeed skipped.
They did the promo.
They fly now.
They did the they did the promo for the first trailer release, where it just flat out shows you Palpatine show up, and like at the end of that, like you hear, so like you see like bits and pieces of him, and then you hear him laughing at the end, and then Ian McDiarmid came out during that reveal, and he was like, he grabbed a microphone, he's like, play it again, and like everybody went crazy, and I'm like,
I would have gone crazy.
Yeah,
I would.
But that was the best part of episode
9. I'm firmly in the camp of when episode 8 came out. I was one of those people who were like, I think half of this movie, which is to say the half everybody fucking hated.
The back half?
The Luke stuff. I was into it. I think half of that movie is my second favorite Star Wars movie. I genuinely believe that. Whereas the other half is literally the worst Star Wars movie. The shit with Rose, the shit with Finn on the casino planet, and him freeing those fucking animals. I liked what Rian Johnson was doing. I liked the idea that maybe it's not a fucking Skywalker. Maybe it's just a kid who can use the Force on a broom. And I'm like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense, because why wouldn't it? Why there was a shitload of Jedi. Why the fuck would it just be Skywalkers?
Oh, dude, what if the beginning of 10, 11, 12 trilogy is Rey fails so goddamn hard that they have to find the new person that can use the Force, and nobody knows it's that kid except the people who watch 7, 8, 9.
But my point was, when I brought this up, I had a genuine tether. I had a thread left after Last Jedi. I can see myself being into episode 9. I want to see how this trilogy ends. And then I saw that trailer, and like the first thing you hear is, I'm the Emperor. And I'm like, all right,
I'm done.
See you later.
Well,
it's so bizarre that nobody just sat down and thought out those movies. Because, like you said, Rian Johnson, it seemed like the whole theme with Rey was that she was nobody.
Yeah.
And then Kylo Ren is like, hey, guess what? You're nobody.
Yeah.
But there's dramatic irony or situational irony or one of the ironies where it's like, oh, he's saying you're nobody just because your parents aren't famous or heroes or anything, but you're also this incredibly powerful Force user.
Yeah.
We can talk about why she is or not, but I don't even care about all that anymore.
Neither do I.
And so she gets upset because her parents aren't anybody, but she is somebody, and she spent that whole movie proving that. And I think that's an interesting theme and message. And then in episode 9,
fuck that.
It's just like, no, actually, there is a very specific reason why you're such a powerful Force user.
Dude, like, you could have ended I would have maybe been okay with Palpatine coming back if episode 9, like, was like, this whole thing. One, Snoke probably doesn't die in episode 8.
I'm fine with it dying.
I think I
And
would
just have Kylo Ren be the bad guy.
Exactly.
I'd maybe do that. But, like, I would have been fine with, like, Kylo Ren finding something powerful and, like, them, like, something happening in that story that revitalizes him, like, makes a story we see all this stuff happening in front of us, instead of just literally, the dead rises, Palpatine lives, on the fucking scroll.
Exclamation mark.
Yeah, on the fucking scroll up.
Dude,
like,
the official announcement came in Fortnite.
yeah.
What the
Oh,
fuck
man.
world are we living in?
Dude.
Oh, man.
That's rough. There was something else I was going to say, but I've actually lost it all.
Evil Ray had been real.
Why?
I didn't give a shit about Evil Ray.
I like the idea of our hero falling evil and needing to be...
I mean, sure, if I can buy it.
Yeah.
She hadn't done a single goddamn evil thing in the entire series. She was just the pinnacle of goodness. Even to, like, people she didn't know. Regardless, Star Wars, huh?
Yeah.
And now I don't know what the shit they're doing. They're, like, going back in time and it seems like they're retconning the trilogy they just fucking made.
Oh, wait, really?
It seems like
I haven't
it
paid
because,
any attention to it.
like, all the Ahsoka shit with the space whales and the shit I don't care about.
I have not paid any attention to Ahsoka.
Dave Filoni isn't good. I don't care what anyone says. People just grew up with Clone Wars and they're like, oh my god, he's such a good storyteller. Dude, no, he's not. It was already there. The story he was telling was there, and he's just adding fucking shitty dialogue to it. Regardless.
I would like a little, like, 10-minute game.
Yeah.
Where you play...
I'm going to stop you there.
A 10-minute game? Like a Flash game?
Yeah.
Flash is dead,
like,
bro.
Where you are Anakin, and you're just mowing down younglings.
Wow.
I want a 37-hour-long game of that.
I want the Fall of the Republic.
I want that to be the sequel to the Pokemon War game.
I think I've talked about it before. We don't have
You
to
never
keep
have.
killing
You
children?
never have.
We don't have to talk about Star Wars anymore.
Abortion
But-
rights?
Something that I've really gotten into recently is this whole genre of YouTube where people just react to watching movies for the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really appreciate this because it's cool to watch somebody watch something that you really appreciate and see them see it for the first time and
Yeah.
have like that genuine reaction to it.
I watch a lot of Final Fantasy X reacts.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh,
I have, though.
Nothing-
I've seen some of them.
nothing. They exist.
I think I've seen... They're absolutely there.
Wow.
And like when I was a kid, I liked the prequel trilogy.
Sure.
And then as I got older, the internet just conditioned me to not like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I can understand the nuances of why they weren't particularly well made or whatever.
They were perfection.
But
Disagree.
the thing is, I watch these React channels and they watch Star Wars and you just see them get this like genuine emotional response to the things happening in the prequel trilogy. And like the fall of Anakin and Revenge of the Sith and the fight with Obi-Wan on Mustafar, and people are in like tears watching this. And I'm like, man, I just appreciate that normies, I guess, can just see something that they don't, because they haven't seen it before, so they don't know any of the discourse, they don't know any of the criticisms.
Oh, did they cry when Padme died?
Of course, yes. They see it as they see it as like an actual like Greek tragedy, and all this drama and everything. And I appreciate that they just haven't been poisoned by unhelpful discourse online into not liking something that they otherwise probably would have if they can just appreciate it for what it is.
Can you imagine if the story of Star Wars actually played out like a Greek play where it just stayed in the same place the entire thing and then people came off screen to describe what happened on the other places?
Well, I genuinely think the prequel trilogy is written like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
Because
It rhymes.
No, not like that. We've talked about that before. How ring theory, I think ring theory is just complete bullshit.
It's a circle.
But you go into the prequel trilogy knowing the fate of Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
From the first movie, from the first time you see him in episode 1, you know exactly where his story ends. And I think I think that there is some kind of beauty in that, in wanting to see him overcome his problems,
but ultimately not.
But it gives you this hope. Interesting thing from Star Wars.
A new hope.
It gives you this hope that maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to overcome it. But you know he can't, because it's a prequel. You already know what's happening.
So he's Oedipus.
The ending is already written.
It's almost predatory. How it reminds me of Brandon Sanderson and how he writes. And I say predatory in the most loving way. I genuinely adore the Stormlight Archive.
How's Rhythm of War?
So far, I just finished the first act. I got to the first interludes. I love the Syl interlude. It was incredible. I love everything about her. But she
Predatory Brandon Sanderson.
Predatory Brandon Sanderson. And I say that in the most loving way. Whatever the coolest thing is that you can imagine happening is probably going to happen.
Yes.
And, I so desperately want it. I want it so bad, and all the characters have different things that I want, except Shalon. She can go fuck herself. I really just see the characters go, and to get a bit deep, something that I think it does pretty well. I in book 2, I think, I felt a bit weirded out, slightly, by the way the characters were evolving. No spoilers for you, John. Or just for the listener. I really highly recommend these books. But this isn't a spoiler. Pretty much all the main characters represent some form of mental illness.
Oh.
And it's pretty hardcore with Kaladin. With me in particular. I just fucking get it. And
I mean, you probably get it too. You've gotten that far in Way of Kings to see, Kaladin at his lowest.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just really rough.
Not to say he does get lower.
He gets lower.
But
get low. Sorry, Kaladin. It's just I just really get it. I get it on a literally personal level with Kaladin, and it's so tough, genuinely difficult to read some of his passages. It's nearly predatory how difficult it is, and how much I want him to just be okay, but he can't be. And I know, rough, huh? It's just a rough time. Rough.
Man.
God, I love those books. And that's the reason I bring those up is that's what Star Wars was to me. I wanted to feel something, and it made me feel something. And it made me feel like it was against my will that I felt something, even though I wanted it. Even though I just said I wanted it. Like when you see Anakin's inevitable downfall. And not only that, I buy it. I buy his train. They said it from the beginning. You're too old to be a Jedi. We can't train you. Oh, but Qui-Gon said we should. Oh, it's the prophecy. Bro.
Obi-Wan didn't want to train him, but he felt this obligation to his dying master. It was his dying wish. You need to train the boy.
Duel of the Fates meant so many literal things.
And yes. I think he sums it up pretty hard in that line, "You were my brother, Anakin." I don't think that's right. An apprentice should be like your son. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be brothers. You're too peer.
Yep.
And I think that's part of the problem.
They bring that up in the first episode, in episode 1, where they're like, Obi-Wan, he's too young to do his, final trials. He was still a Padawan.
Yeah. Damn it.
And then they give this guy, this, high school graduate, the responsibility of training the Chosen One.
Because of a dying wish from Qui-Gon.
They are brothers. They're Padawans to the same master at the same time.
And this is why your older brother would make a bad parent.
Oh God, he has 5. Oh God.
Oh, I thought you said PS5. He has 5. Gotcha. I was so confused.
Yeah, he has 5 kids.
PS5.
Congratulations.
Incredible. Even after all this time, I still like talking about Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Even though it's the way it is now.
That's the way it is. I think I like talking about the possibility of what Star Wars could have been.
Oh, like theory crafting, like your dream script or that kind of thing?
Yeah, like I don't mind, like Episode 7 for the most part. I didn't really care.
Yeah,
because that felt like a copy paste. It was like most areas.
It was for people like us.
Yeah,
people who already knew we liked Star Wars.
They walked into it knowing, even from the trailer, where you have like, it's one of my favorite fucking trailers to watch. Mm-hmm. Where like you have like the
nostalgia,
the Force Awakens, the light side and the dark side. You see Kylo Ren come out with his fucking crossguard lightsaber
and the light,
and you get the fucking. And you see like flipping around and around, fucking shit. I'm out of my seat.
And literally, Han Solo's like, Chewie, we're back.
Yeah, like yeah, like it was full on nostalgia bait, but I was for every fucking second of it. Even like just like the visuals of like you seeing like the Falcon like flipping upside down and 2 TIE fighters flying by it. I'm like, Star Wars is fucking back, baby.
That's the best way to put it, I think. Star Wars, that's what it feels like. There was several moments throughout that movie where I'm like, this is fucking Star Wars. Like, preceding this, there was no Star Wars for me. I didn't watch the shows or the Clone Wars, or is that it? Clone Wars?
At the time, yeah, I think so.
I didn't watch it. And I had no Star Wars from episode 3 to... Also, that Clone Wars movie came out before then. The one with Jabba the Hutt's kid.
There was a 2D animated one too. Yeah. Prior to that.
Oh,
the Genndy Tartakovsky one.
Sure, maybe.
Is that the one?
It came out between 2 and 3. I think.
Yeah, it was fucking badass.
That was Tartakovsky's.
Fucking awesome. I love Genndy Tartakovsky.
Dude.
It's a Genndy Tartakovsky podcast now. Have you guys seen Primal? It's so good.
God, it's so good.
The only great moment in 7 was.
This is a
Poe's X-Wing scene.
Yes, of course.
Where you have like the battle going on the ground, but you can just watch him in the background, fucking lighting dudes up and turning 90-degree impossible angles. That X-Wing should have been falling apart. And then like obviously you know who it is, but like even the build up in that moment where like the stormtroopers, what were they? Final Order.
Are they?
What are they?
First Order.
First Order. That's it.
Are they?
They were copy pasted.
They use basically the same armor.
Yeah. But they're like, oh, something's coming, and you see like the water line like flying up, so you can't really see what's showing up. And like it was just this build up moment that happens. Finn gets his fucking ass kicked, and I'm like, Finn, you're the guy. You are the guy, right? We're building you up to. We're failing you here, so you build up to win, and then he loses, anyways. Yep. But that whole area was cool.
But then he goes up against Kylo Ren at the end of the movie
and gets his shit kicked
and he still loses. Actually,
they did him dirty.
Tell me if this is wrong. I want to know your guys' opinions on this move real quick.
Okay.
I think we're about to wrap this up, but
it is not wrong to be sexually attracted to Twi'leks.
I don't know what that means.
Twilight, the hot ones from Star Wars.
Oh, that's what
Ayla Secura.
Oh, okay, cool. Good for you. In episode 8, Finn has this moment of a sacrifice play at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Rose fucking hits him and darts off to the side and calls him an idiot for trying to do that.
Hardcore smooch.
Despite all of the build-up in that movie to Finn learning the lesson that he needs to be able to recognize a cause bigger than himself and being able to make the sacrifice play, which Rose taught him, but regardless, yes.
Is it wrong to use that as leverage on somebody that hadn't seen the movie yet when it first came out?
What do you mean?
Somebody at work was really pissing me off one day, like 2 days after the movie came out, and they hadn't seen the movie yet. And I just rolled my chair out over to them, and I'm like, another fucking word, and I'm gonna spoil Star Wars for you. And he's like, dude, you're not gonna fucking do that. And then like he said something else that irritated me, and I just looked at him. I'm like, Finn dies.
You're in the right.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong to do that? Because 1, I did not actually spoil the movie, and 2, he knowing that Finn dies. That just like, to me, that takes that level of emotion up to another
You
notch.
might have saved the scene for him. I hated the scene. I hated everything
I didn't
about
think it was great. I didn't thought that.
Can you imagine?
Remember the dude that was just like,
it's salt.
Just so you know, it's not snow.
This isn't hot.
It's not sand, guys. It's not red sand. Not Tatooine, boys. We're on a different planet that looks like shit. Anyway, that being said, that whole scene was very striking. Like the colors, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was also really fun to fight that in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, it is.
Love that game.
The fucking foxes.
The
foxes.
They were fine. Regardless,
superfluous.
Can you imagine? These two things aren't necessarily comparable completely, but they are a similar idea. Can you fucking imagine if Tony Stark had got rosed?
Yeah.
Dude,
where fucking Gwyneth Paltrow just like takes the gauntlet off of him, snap.
Yeah. Can you imagine if she had like tackled him and then they just killed Thanos?
Dude, I was actually just
So
thinking
ridiculous.
about that. Literally when he was talking about it, I'm like, it's almost like an incredibly far more successful movie actually let the character make a sacrifice plan.
No.
It was the best fucking thing ever.
Actually, what actually happens is Tony goes to do the snap, but Pepper tackles him. They kill Thanos, and then they're like, this is actually a trilogy, and we're going to be reintroduced.
No!
We're going to be reintroducing a new villain.
Oh, yeah, but it's all the female Avengers.
Femvengers.
But we're doing it from their point of view so they look like the heroes.
There are times where, how deep are we, by the
We're
way?
pretty far in.
Hour 17.
What were your thoughts?
Regardless.
Real fast. What were your thoughts? Am I in the wrong? Am I in the right?
That's not cool. I mean, you get away with a technicality. You didn't actually spoil the movie.
I think you saved the scene for it. He's like, oh shit, he's dead. He was right. Oh! Like, that's what happened for that guy.
That's what I'm hoping. But, during that whole thing, he's like, he fucking told me. He actually told me. And then, like, he gets swept away. And I'm like, that dude's probably like, wow, he's a piece of shit.
I mean, I spoiled you guys' experience of watching episode 7 for the first time. Because I'm like, how old is Han Solo?
Han Solo.
And then it auto-completes to death scene.
Why did you just you should have Googled like me, how old is Han Solo?
Yeah, well.
How dare you? God, I remember, that was a great night.
I remember we sat in the lobby for like 45 minutes.
That's
just
probably
we just liked Star Wars.
It was a fun time.
That's probably the movie, to this day, I've seen the most in theaters. I probably watched that movie 4 times.
Good God.
In the theater.
Get a fucking life.
He did after the fact. When he was
weirdly enough, I think the only movie I've seen more than once is Age of Ultron.
Is it a strange one?
Yeah.
Like ever?
More than once in a theater.
Oh,
I saw Paranormal Activity 3 times.
Oh my God, John. Wait, Paranormal Activity 3, that's the one with the people who find the VHS tapes?
Maybe. It's the one with the oscillating fan.
It's the one...
And the Witch Coven.
It's the one with the Witch Coven. Yeah. And Toby.
I'm pretty sure that's the one that takes place in 2001 or something.
Maybe.
I went to go see it with friends, and then I went to go see it with a girl, and then I went to go see it with a different girl.
Oh my God.
So, I think I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2 3 times in theaters.
I could see that's a really good one.
Yeah. I think I went by myself. I think I went with you guys, and then I think I went with my little brothers.
I remember being annoyed that you went by yourself. Because you could, we went the next day. You couldn't wait.
I didn't know we were going then.
We always go to the Marvel movies.
Except
for the new shitty ones. Except for when we do, apparently.
What did we miss?
We didn't go...
What movie did we not see?
What movie did
I thought we saw them all.
Fuck, we've seen them all. We even saw Turtles.
Oh, man.
Well, God damn it.
Man, the trailer for the Marvels was so fucking predatory. It, made you think that something to do with Thanos was happening.
Oh, yeah.
But then the woman was just some woman with a hammer. Hammer destroyed, by the way, in Guardians 1. By the way.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's up with that?
Regardless. My brother was so desperately a Star Wars fan that wanted to see Star Wars succeed. The first time he went to go see it, he watched it on his own. Then the next time, or no, that's incorrect. He took his kids out of school to go see it.
Awesome.
Which he's done that with every single movie. He cried in episode 9. Ooh. I don't know why or when.
The death of the franchise.
But he did.
Oh, very good. Holy fucking shit.
That's the one for the year.
There's a funeral.
Oh, no. Chris, it's the beginning of 2024.
You shouldn't have slung both barrels so fast.
He then returned to go see it 3 more times. And he cried during those 2.
What? I can't imagine.
That's incredible, because despite all of his efforts, it was still the lowest grossing movie in the franchise.
I can't imagine feeling that much. I'm glad for him. I really am. I can't imagine feeling that much for that movie.
I think he's getting a little bit sad because I was the only other person that was kind of sticking with Star Wars. Like, his kids watch it because I think he makes them. But, like, he's trying to talk to me about, like, Mando season 2 and Ahsoka and all this shit, and I'm like, I haven't seen it. He's like, it's really good, you should watch it. And I'm like, I have it on good authority that it's done.
If we were
Am I good authority? Yeah. Oh,
if we were in Australia, your brother would be like a Jedi.
Huh?
There is a religion that is recognized by the Australian government and the American government. I don't know why I had to specify Australia.
Wow.
Jediism.
Oh my fucking God.
Jediism, which is just these people that take the religion of Jedi.
Okay. I got bad news. He's in America, where that's a religion, and he's not one.
Yep.
Congratulations. Death of a franchise.
They went down to, what's the one in Florida? What's the Disney place in Florida? Is it Disney World or Disneyland?
I'm not
okay. He went down there because his daughter's getting ready to go over to Japan once she gets the paperwork figured out to go live with her husband.
Right.
So this year he took his kids down there so that they could all build lightsabers.
Dude, I hate fucking Star Wars, and you know if I had money, I'd go build a fucking lightsaber.
Bro, the kids, I don't, like, the daughter seemed pretty happy. Lexi seemed pretty happy.
Right.
Carson was just sick out of his fucking mind. And before he started to build the Lego, he threw up. And after, or not the Lego, the lightsaber. And after he built the lightsaber, like, turned it on, and then went and found a fucking bucket. Like, I don't know what he was sick with. I don't know what he was sick with. But, like, before and after every single attraction that they had while they were there on the one day they went to go fucking visit the Star Wars area, he was just sick everywhere. And, like, I saw a video of my brother walk into the Millennium Falcon.
Walk into it?
Walk into it, yeah. You know, he just ordered only guac from Chipotle. No, he walked in there, and, like, I expected him to just, like, nerd out and be like, oh, this is where they smuggled the guys at. Like, this is where they hid during that one scene in episode 4. No. He walked in, he goes into the fucking, the cockpit, and he turns around, and he's like, Chewie, we're home.
Oh my God.
And I'm like...
Who's the bigger fool? The fool who falls him?
My favorite part about that is Chewie, the person he said Chewie to, was his wife. So I'm like, hell yeah, you hairy bitch.
Chewie is the pinnacle of mate.
Yeah, he is.
If you guys had a lightsaber, what color would it be?
I've been trying to wrap this up.
God damn it.
Red.
Obviously red.
I said green.
You said green?
Yeah.
You're fucking lame.
Blue.
I want a yellow one.
You would.
Great.
I want to
Good for you.
I want a light pike. Because they're like this tall, and then they have like a little.
Why? Why though? What benefit?
I think they're cool.
Goodbye, everybody.